God, you're gonna love it.
Hey folks, welcome to the AI Chicks, where we're providing you cool conversations about AI for all. With each episode bringing you a different topic on how AI impacts your daily life. I'm your host, Aisha, coming in hot always with the fun insight on tech. And I got my bestie here.
I'm Lana Hout, and I'm bringing you the curls, that charisma, and that entrepreneurial energy.
Speaking of entrepreneurial energy,
I am so excited for today's episode.
Right? What are we talking about?
So today we have special guest Kelly Marble, who's representing her company Ocean, and she helps entrepreneurs grow their small businesses using AI. I'm really excited to hear about what strategies she has her business owners employ, and specifically what tools she recommends.
You know, we're always talking about Lana being one of the top female business brokers in the country.
And I'm not the only entrepreneur on this podcast. Aisha's also a top producer. Aisha, why don't you tell them a little bit about that?
Yes, I have founded multiple production companies. I've also ran production companies for celebrities. And so this is a very interesting topic for me to really hear about what AI tools all different industries, all different forms and facets of small businesses are using, and really having this expert of Kelly Marbles come on and tell us more about that.
Let's get into it.
All right, you guys.
We're so excited to have Kelly Marble in the studio.
Hey there, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
You're an AI chick already.
Don't even need to induct her,
I
really.
know.
I love
but
that.
Kelly, you know, for the listeners who are just tuning in, can you give them a little bit of background on who you are and what you do?
Yes, for sure. I'm Kelly Marble. I'm a marketing technologist, which pretty much means I create innovative solutions with systems, technology, and creativity to solve complex problems with a marketing lens. I'm also an AI fashion designer, founder, and marketing chair for the LA Opera League.
Oh, that's so amazing. A woman of many talents.
Yeah, you know, I have a non-traditional background in tech. My journey starts in retail. I opened up the first Microsoft store in Georgia. And so it was an interesting time back in 2011. But from there, I did everything from training and development to tech sales and outreach. Hopped around different companies, specialized in program management, marketing, and strategy, which led me to tech giants such as Google, Microsoft, and American Cancer Society.
We're probably going to have another episode with her with just AI and fashion.
Oh, I think so.
No, when I tell you,
I think so.
I've taught so many courses on this. I actually create like AI fashion collections all the way from avant-garde to like your ready-to-wear pieces.
Yes.
The first AI fashion show happened 2 years ago. It was a partnership in New York with Revolt and Vogue. And it was just an amazing experience. And so I'm submitting my collections this year. So.
Oh my God. Well, congratulations.
Well,
I'm saying congratulations because I'm already assuming you're going to win.
She will.
She's in. You know, I don't know what they do there. Do they win? You
Whatever
get
it is,
best dress?
She's got it.
Yeah, you got it.
It's global designers, like 64 over an entire world. And then you have like AI fashion enthusiasts who get to select their top 3 collections. They have judges from the fashion space who then will say, hey, these are the 3 designers that want to move forward, and they actually produce the collection.
When it comes out, I hope you remember us and we get some,
you already
fashion to rock.
Let's get into
AI.
Yeah, and the small businesses.
Exactly. So on our show, what we do is we go to AI for AI's take on the topic. And then Aisha and I give our thoughts on it as well. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. Today, we're going to be hearing from Claude about AI and marketing for small businesses.
According to Claude, AI is becoming increasingly important in marketing for small businesses. It offers tools for automating tasks, personalizing campaigns, and analyzing data more efficiently. Small businesses can use AI to optimize their ad spending, improve customer service through chatbots, and gain insights from predictive analytics. While there's a learning curve, AI marketing tools are becoming more accessible and affordable. This technology allows small businesses to compete more effectively in the digital marketplace, though some challenges remain regarding implementation and data ethics.
I am a business broker and M&A advisor, so I geek out on all things entrepreneurship and business ownership related. Okay. And part of that is also how to grow a business, how to do marketing for a business. And I work with a lot of small business owners, helping them buy businesses, sell businesses, and just really hearing all the stories of how they built what they built.
Business boss babes.
Yes. I really view marketing as like an entry point for people with AI. Usually the first thing that business owners always tell me is, yeah, I wish we could do more marketing. I just don't have the time. Time is always this rare commodity for most people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so for me, what got me excited about implementing AI was thinking about how I could leverage AI to grow my business, how I could do more marketing outreach, how I could get to more customers.
Right.
And I think that's a topic that a lot of small businesses and entrepreneurs want to hear about. Here at the AI Chicks, we have the AI Asians, which are how AI impacts different topics
and
like-
professions.
And professions.
Yeah, everything from optimization, automation,
creation, and
elimination. We cover all the Asians.
So with creation, I think of large language models and being able to use that to write website copy or email campaigns or social media posts. Then there's generative AI that is creating images or video like Pictory, for example, or Midjourney.
Yes.
AI that can edit video from long form to short form for your social media purposes, right?
100%.
So there's a lot of different ways on the creation. And on automation, Claude mentioned chatbots and automated responses and things like that to help streamline
and automate your customer service.
Exactly. So to me, those are really interesting factors. I am very pro people starting to incorporate AI, even in the smallest ways, because I feel like this is going to be how it revolutionizes small business, but also to keep people competitive.
So
right?
how is this
100%.
resonating with you?
Yes, AI Jigs, you hit the nail on the head. When you think about automation and you think about using marketing for small businesses, the barrier to entry typically is education. You have AI curious small business owners who are like, hey, I know I need to use this, but I'm not sure how. You have AI enthusiasts who are like, I'm learning these tools, but I'm not sure if I'm keeping up within the market. And then you have AI avoidants who are just like, I'm not buying into this whole AI concept. It's interesting to see the stats that 1 in 4 small businesses, according to Deloitte and Stanford, are using AI. And that's jarring. There's this huge gap of entrepreneurs, founders, and small businesses who aren't leveraging it. And I'm sure we're aware that when you do leverage these tools, you're buying back your time. You can also leverage them to increase your revenue and even generate back-end support when we talk about those chatbots and automation. With my company, Ocean.ai, I founded it in 2020, and it was on the premise to teach women, people of color, and small businesses AI fundamentals. I love to use education first to help break down those barrier of entries. After you educate on these AI models that you talked about, like Claude 3, ChatGPT is really the biggest one in the forefront due to OpenAI's rollout. But you also have things like Microsoft Copilot and Google Gemini and Perplexity AI. And what my organization likes to do is really break down the features and the benefits of these tools and how to use them. We talk about terminology as well. For some of us, AI is new, but I'm sure we're aware that it was started back in the 50s by Alan Turing when he coined computational technology. And then you had machine learning. I think small businesses who are AI avoidant, they need the skill share. And so when we educate them, then they're starting to understand like, okay, I can understand how to use these tools. I'm not sure if I have the skills yet, but I can understand that I can use Claude 3 to create copy for my website. I can use ChatGPT to create a marketing strategy for a campaign that I want to launch this season. One thing I love Claude 3 for actually is illustrations. Take data and you can actually create charts and graphs that can tell detailed stories with your metrics.
Gemini has those features as well. And more as these platforms
evolve,
they're all going to be able to have these same outputs of features as well.
That is so true. What I'm loving about these certain models is the sourcing, the sourcing component that we're seeing now, right? So it's like they're pulling this data and this information, and now you're saying, okay, they sourced it from reputable sources, or you have somewhere to kind of cite. And I think that's so important.
Aisha loves a good source.
Yeah,
right?
That's one of my favorite things about Copilot. When they first started out as Bing, and I was binging all the time, and literally I was just like, they give you footnotes, they give you a source link. Oh, this is my bestie. That's one of my favorite aspects of some of these platforms.
Yes.
And it's interesting that you've been talking about the dynamics of the different business owners and how they're adopting AI or avoiding to adopt AI, because that was the biggest thing about AI's take that stood out to me, is the dynamics of being early adopters to this type of technology. And within that, AI just evolves so quickly.
It is.
It's a technology that even the tech bros are taken back by how fast AI evolves. And so I just like to encourage small business owners, even just play with it, get started on it, even in the most minor ways, get familiar with it as soon as possible, because what the platforms and the modules are doing right now, even just the capabilities of chatbots, what they used to do a few years ago to what they're doing now.
The scripting, oh my gosh.
Yes, it's already evolved.
Yes.
And so if you wait 3, 4, 5, 10 years to jump on the bandwagon, the gap is going to be even bigger.
Yes.
For me, that was one of the things that the AI take didn't touch on, that is a big kind of like alert that I wanted to make sure we touched on in this conversation, and that we highlight to our listeners. The speed in which this technology is advancing is so rapid and drastic that these business owners that you consider are the avoidance, you know,
AI avoidant.
AI avoidant, there needs to be sort of that realization, a reality check to them that this is not the technology to do that with.
Yeah, and you know, I think it's kind of reframing AI into like this extended intelligence. So when people kind of look at it as, oh, this is your white glove assistant. If you're a creative and you see it as like a facet of Photoshop or AutoCAD, it's just another tool to have in your toolbox. I think a really good way to get started, if you're like, hey, I know this is not going anywhere and I need to jump in. For me, it would be to take some of these courses. Our company offers workshops, but as well as these large corporations. I've taken a Microsoft AI certification course. And if you're just like, hey, I just want to know the terminology, I kind of just want to know how the inner workings happen, these courses are a great way to get started.
Yeah, we have certifications as well. We've taken them from IBM, Google. I'm in a Harvard one as well. And it's interesting because years ago when we first started getting into it, the universities didn't have courses. And so the tech companies were the ones who were offering these courses. And now you even have community colleges, all the way to Ivy League, Columbia, MIT, like a lot more places are offering AI boot camps, AI workshops, and individual courses that you could just take online. So that is a good point. And on top of that, Ocean.ai, Kelly's company as well.
Thanks for the plug. Yeah.
So on that note, I want to switch gears.
Yes.
Here at the AI Chicks, we like to induct people into the AI squad by giving them a nickname. So we have some nicknames that we want to share with you, see what you think, so that you will forever be that nickname here at the AI Chicks.
Yes. All right. So
I love this.
Let's see. I'm a kicks girl. Love me some tinnies.
Okay.
And Kelly Marble, KM. I don't know why, but just like K Swiss came up for me. Because, you know, when you're a sneakerhead, that's just where your mind goes. K Swiss. So I don't know if you're a sneakerhead as well. I want to throw that one out there.
Okay. Not a sneakerhead.
Not a sneakerhead.
She's a heels girl.
Okay. That was a big X.
It's okay. You know,
for those listening, Kelly's face was just like, no, dog.
No, really?
It's not happening. Okay.
But I appreciate the creativity. I do.
Thank you. And these are not AI generated. So we'll just take the credit or the lack thereof credit. So the other one we were thinking about is we wanted to play off of your last name, Marble, which is such a cool last name.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
I thought Marble Magic, because AI uses a lot of magic. Like
And they always call things magic features.
yeah, like
magic
it
features.
magically does this for you.
Or hallucinations, right?
But we thought that you were helping people get the magic of AI. So I thought Marble Magic
Marble
could
Magic.
be fun. So that's one. Okay.
You mentioned earlier about being there for female entrepreneurs.
Yes.
We've been talking about you being a boss babe since you've sat down at this
you.
podcast. What about if it's just Miss Maven?
Ooh.
Because you're just a maven. You help all these entrepreneurs out.
Yes.
I like that because it kind of even reminds me of my last name, like Miss Marble, Miss Maven.
Yes, exactly. All right.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
All right.
Welcome to the AI Squad.
Thank you, ladies. I'm so grateful to be here.
We definitely want to touch on a few other things. I know we covered a lot of entry level stuff here in the beginning, but really want to get in some more practical, tactical advice for the listeners. What would you say are some of the strategies and ways that small businesses can market and expand and grow their company without a big budget?
You know, there's often a common misconception of if I want to utilize this technology, I need to have a budget that matches the capabilities of this technology, when that is certainly not the case for everyone. A lot of these technologies, they have tiered systems where you're able to kind of try it out, have that free version, and they have certain features and capabilities that you can utilize. And then once your business scales or grows, or depending on your business goals, you're able to then say, hey, maybe I need to go into this new tier. So when I'm consulting any of my clients within their business, we talk about their business goals from a marketing lens. And typically what that looks like, if it's a product or a service, what are your revenue goals? What are your client acquisition goals? And then how do you plan to use media channels to really hit those numbers or to hit those goal metrics? I love to use AI-powered email marketing tools such as MailChimp, for instance, where it's kind of like this one-stop shop for small businesses who are looking to have a website, but then it can also be a lead gen funnel. You can have email journeys and customization. And they just came out with AI predictions. And this is really cool. So like if a small business is looking to create some type of campaign and they want it to have like a pop-up banner on their website, and they get their clients to subscribe to like their newsletter, for instance. And now they're like, hey, you know, how do we reach these people with our newsletter? The AI prediction can come up with these amazing subject lines that has the highest probability of an open rate, which means that when the customer, the client sees it in their inbox, they're like, this is intriguing. Let me look into this a little bit more. And in addition to that, we have what's called A/B testing, which is not new within the marketing world, but it's really good to know when your clients or customers are looking at their emails and when they're probably going to open those emails. So MailChimp has that capability and feature as well.
Yeah. And I think on the consumer side, you kind of see that. You're seeing the results of that because you'll see sort of a general email come to you with your name automatically in the email. And then if you don't open it, you see 2 days later, they send a follow-up one like, hey, did you open my email? You know, or if you do open it, they send another follow-up after that, responding to the fact that you interacted with that first email. So I think everyday people who are seeing the opposite end of what these AI predictions and AI campaigns are doing, that's what you're experiencing when you're seeing these threads of business emails coming to your inbox.
And I just wanted to say about what you were talking about earlier with this AI technology in MailChimp, it's really about trying to break through the noise because people are getting so many emails and you're trying to reach your target customer. You want them opening up your email. So 100%. Whatever data you can use / whatever marketing language you can use to attract them is
complete the engagement.
Exactly. Is key, really.
Yes, 100%. In fact, stats show on average that the average consumer receives about 1,000 advertisements a day. And when we think about that from, you know, you're driving in the car and you're seeing billboards, or you're walking around the street and you see somebody in some type of logo or brand, you see it all the time. And so to your point, there's so much noise happening and we're always being marketed to. So how are you touching your customer from a personal level and even telling that like journey or that story that resonates with them is super important. And I don't know if you noticed this, but I feel like Claude 3 actually has one of the most sophisticated natural language processing, meaning it's super relatable. The tonality doesn't feel as robotic. And of course, these AI models, you can ask it to speak a certain way, right? You know, if you wanted to have an executive tone or a creative tone, you can have that.
Or a casual tone.
Exactly.
Right.
I feel like the output on Claude 3 just seems to be a little bit more just personalized and relatable automatically, which I can appreciate.
Nice.
Oh, that's
and
great.
One of the things that's interesting about where you were giving us more insight on is that things like MailChimp and some of these other platforms, they've been around.
Yes.
And they're just embedding and enhancing their services with AI features.
Exactly.
And I think one of the things that is going to be very helpful for small business owners, especially the ones who are late adopters, is these tools that they're used to using, the traditional tools, the pre-existing services that they are interacting with, interfacing with, incorporate more AI.
It's another entry point for them.
Yeah, because they're already
using,
familiar with it. They're already using it. And I know in my industry, that's basically what happened to a lot of editors. Editors were already using Final Cut, Avid, Premiere, Adobe Premiere, all of these platforms for editing. And then those services started incorporating AI.
Exactly.
So then that helped them have that entry level interaction with AI and learn AI on that first step level before then some of them really started jumping into the more AI driven editing tools or generative AI tools.
I mean, that's also what like Canva did, right? Canva, right?
Canva's a genius with it.
Oh my God.
Canva just allows for flyers and email campaigns and social media posts and so many creative things, presentation decks. I mean, there's so many things you can do on Canva. I think a lot of people were already using Canva.
Yes,
and Canva was very smart and strategic about starting to incorporate AI magic into their platform and allowing people to get familiar with it and more comfortable with it.
And I think that's what happened even with video conferencing and note taking. A lot of people's first interaction with AI was through the fact that they happened to turn on Zoom. I think that there's this twofold of, yes, you could be a business owner that just literally goes headfirst into Zapier and these other
integrations.
Yeah, other integrations that are AI first services and AI first platforms that are driven for that, or, just the LLMs that we're talking about, Claude, Chat, Gemini. But then I also think that there is a benefit in the business worlds that are servicing small businesses to start incorporating AI into their features and platforms as well.
And quite frankly, I think to be competitive moving forward, but also which has been the case, is you have to incorporate tech to stay competitive and stay strategic. If there's two companies and one is incorporating AI and one isn't, very quickly you're going to see the levels changing. And I don't think that the company that chooses to avoid incorporating technology is not going to be able to keep up with the one that is incorporating it.
Well, speaking of challenges, what are some of the challenges you're seeing?
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with the avoidance piece and just the education. A lot of my clients, about 25% of them, when I ask them like, hey, how are you using AI? A lot of them are using it in like a personal way, right? So you'll go and you ask certain questions. And I think we all know that with AI prompt engineering, what you put into AI is what you get out of it. A common theme that we hear is garbage in, garbage out. And so I work with my clients on really understanding how to create just the best prompts. And all prompt engineering is the art and science of crafting.
Who, what, where, when, why?
You know?
And how.
It helped guide the AI model essentially, right? Once you get those amazing prompts and you understand exactly the goals that you want to have AI spit out to you or even like produce for you, then it becomes very clear and definite of like, okay, I see the value. And I think that's also a big draw too that we're seeing and that I'm seeing is they're like, I know there is value, but I don't know what the value is. What are you wanting to have AI do for you? And then the capabilities of what it can do. And what we're seeing is that they're unaware. They're unaware of how to use AI. And then some of them are scared of it. I was talking to a client and it goes over my head. Or they watch certain movies and shows and they said, did you see that movie? And they portrayed AI, like the Terminator.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, there's always going to be pros and cons to everything in life. So how can we not only utilize AI, but leverage it to, grow our companies, to grow our communities? And I just saw this recent study by, I think it was McKesson, and they said by the year 2053, that the U.S. Black household net wealth would be $0. And I know you're kind of like, this is coming out of left field. Well, McKinsey did a report and said that AI automation is going to generate $43 billion annually.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And so we see that AI isn't going anywhere and it's generating all of this money annually. But then we see these projections of, Black and brown communities and their wealth gap is just going to continue to get wider. It's not just about the education, but it's about equipping and upskilling professionals in these spaces. So once you understand kind of like how these AI tools are working, then you equip yourself with those skills and you leverage those and you actually apply them to your company and also to your professional and personal life.
So it just sounds like when you're talking to your clients, you do have to give them some context to warm them up to the idea for the ones that are avoidant at least, right? But for the ones that are more curious about AI or
AI curious or AI enthusiasts,
that they're more open to kind of just jump in and start trying out the different tools.
Exactly. It's kind of one of those things like if you ever got a car and you had this car salesman kind of show you the features and you feel like you know everything about the car, but then you learn some new features later on, maybe a year or two later, like, I wish I knew that. Or, even like if you had a laptop and you learn certain controls or commands. The AI enthusiast is someone who has a basic understanding of AI, but then they can go deeper. We are seeing this shift of you have folks who are understanding AI technologies, and then you have this next wave that's happening with quantum technology. And that's, they're using these even larger language models in analysis, and they're able to do like predictive solutions on just all of these different user cases or all of these different problems. So if you're thinking about like, hey, how do you solve this problem? And you have quantum technology, it's going to give you every possible solution and then the highest probability of that solution. And that's what these bigger enterprises are using now. You can think of like Power BI and Tableau that is powering these analysis and these reports. But for the everyday small business owner, it's really about, hey, how can we leverage AI within marketing, within operations, within revenue generation, and then taking those steps and scaling them.
To kind of get a little bit more specific, you work with a lot of different clients, a lot of different small businesses. Can you give us an example of a small business that has effectively incorporated AI into their marketing strategy and any specific tools that really made the difference?
That's a great question. And in fact, 15% of my clients, I actually use the AI-powered email marketing tool, MailChimp, just because I have so much background knowledge into it. So I get them started on MailChimp, creating their websites. We create funnels for their customers. And then from those funnels, we have what depends on their product and services, a journey. So they have the emails that go from the sign up to the welcome to the here goes a free product, a discount, a promotion, and then we add the educational piece. And what we're seeing is a 15% increase in sales and overall revenue.
Oh, wow.
And we use AI predictions within MailChimp. And then as far as it comes to design and creative, I love using generative AI. So we go through Midjourney as well as Leonardo AI. And Leonardo AI has just the most amazing filters when you want to do animation or have certain looks, if you want it to be a photo stock or if you want it to be more lifelike. Generative AI tools have pros and cons, but we kind of go through both platforms and I explain to them how to use it ethically and responsibly. Because I know, there is no federal policy on AI as of today.
Yeah. The EU have their AI.
They do.
And then there is a World AI Treaty. But there's still, a lot of the federal legalities are still being fleshed out.
Yeah, within the US. I mean, I think we're going to see like state policy, but I really think what's happening in the background where people are thinking about AI, there's tons of people right now thinking about how to protect their intellectual property. I have a lot of friends in the lawyer space and they're just saying like, oh my gosh, people are trying to get patents, people are trying to copyright, they're talking about copyright infringement. And there's a lot of lawsuits happening too, which I feel like are going to help really shape AI policies going forward.
And you're talking about people wanting to have ownership of the way that they look, the way that they speak, their voice,
the likeness,
like the likeness, right? That's what you're referring to. I just want for the listeners to understand what they're trying to, and their content, but I just want listeners to understand what they're trying to protect. If you're an influencer and you have all these videos and your likeness, your image, your voice, and also the content actually of whatever information you're providing to your audience, them wanting to feel like they have ownership is what you're talking about.
And I think that's the thing with AI and these generative platforms and everything being considered data now is that anything you create, any type of business that you're in, that is now your IP that can be used as data or that can be used to reference for anybody else using AI and generating new images and building off of that. So I definitely hear you there that we're definitely still in the Wild Wild West of building phase, but I love that you are staying ahead of the game and helping these other small businesses really grow, and learn what they need to expand their growth as well.
Yeah, and understanding the risk to AI, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a great tool, but then there's also the risk of like, it might produce an image that is in the likeness of someone, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know, I got to take it down, right?
Yeah, and that's a liability for the business owner.
Exactly.
Yeah. One of the other things I just want to quickly circle back to, I'm someone who I built websites, designed apps, done all that. I will produce a show and then build the app for that TV show. And so one of the things I want to highlight is, MailChimp is a compatibility with a lot of other web platforms. If you have Squarespace, if you have Wix, you can link MailChimp to
There's a lot of integrations to it. If you want an e-commerce shop.
Exactly. So I know that you highlighted MailChimp as a big tool that you're using with your clients, but I just wanted to let other people and our listeners know that if you already have some other platforms and tools in place, MailChimp is a type of example that can be integrated and connect with those other platforms as well.
Yes. Yeah. And you can connect it with Canva too.
Exactly.
So I love that. It's like, I feel like we're seeing a lot of these companies play nice with each other now. There's a lot of collaborations and integrations happening. With ChatGPT, ChatGPT, for instance, when I teach my workshops, I actually do industry partnerships. So I have a industry partner who teaches ChatGPT mastery and how to configure your own ChatGPT. It's the paid version, of course, but she really teaches you, if you wanted to have a financial advisor that advises you on the stock market or trading, how to do so. Or if you wanted a fashion stylist, hey, I'm gonna put this image into my ChatGPT and now it's telling me where to get the items from. Or if you wanted a cleaning service, you can actually create your own customized ChatGPT. And because I know where my skill set lies, I find it very helpful to partner with AI experts in the field to make sure that we are providing the skills and resources.
And a little quick exclusive, we've been talking to Kelly about some strategic partnerships as well with Ocean.ai and the AI chick. So we're excited to see what we can build out there.
I love that. I love that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I feel like we covered a lot of different areas.
We covered a lot of areas.
We highlighted some
wonderful
tools. Yeah. We gave some praises to the AI enthusiasts and the AI curious. We're encouraging the AI avoiders to jump on the bandwagon, start testing some things out, playing with it, even if it's just in a entry-level baby step way.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening to this amazing episode. Thank you, Kelly, for joining us and illuminating our minds with what MailChimp has to offer.
That's what Miss Maven does.
Yes.
Yes.
I've used
I
some
love
other
MailChimp.
platforms that have AI capabilities, but I'm really excited about using MailChimp. For all of you listening, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and
grab that merch. All right, you guys. Thanks, Kelly, again. Have a good one. Take care.
Listen to the AI Chicks on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Video episodes are available on Patreon. And check out our socials at The AI Chicks.